Hello, my name is Garrett Bostic, and for my design pattern I did Model View Controller. And so, what is MVC? MVC is a design pattern that is widely used across the world, whose purpose is to separate three different components of applications, which are the model, view, and controller. So the model, it deals with business logic and processing, and the view is mainly the user interface, and the controller deals with navigation and input. So the model represents the data of the application and is independent from the view and the controller. The view displays the model data and sends actions to the controller. The controller provides the model data to the view and interprets user actions. So the intent of MVC is to separate your concerns. When components of your application start doing multiple things, the code then becomes hard to read, which makes the job harder. But if each component has a specific task, then it's easier to keep track of your work. And the main intent of MVC, though, is to separate your views from the controller and model, which keeps the display separate from the data, allowing you to change one without affecting the other. So the motivation of MVC, the MVC design pattern puts a controller class between the view and model in order to get rid of model view dependencies. With these removed, the view and model can be reused without modification. This makes new features and maintenance very easy to implement. And so this is the structure of MVC. So you'll have the model, which contains all the data, and then the viewer, which is the user interface. It'll display the data. And controller is used for the algorithms to modify the data and to implement and act upon the view. So what are some benefits of MVC? MVC lets model classes be reusable with no modification. Responsibilities are separated, which allows for flexibility and also parallel development by different teams. And developers can focus on their section of work more easily. Also, testing and debugging code is easier. What are some consequences of MVC? It's not suitable for small applications, and the cost of frequent updates is a disadvantage. The complexity of the solution is increased, and getting data can be slowed because components are separated. Known uses. MVC is used in most modern web and GUI frameworks. Some of these are Ruby on Rails, which is a popular Ruby web framework. Coca, which is a framework for Mac OS and iOS apps. ASP.NET framework, which is Microsoft's web framework for implementing web applications. And Apache Struts, which is a popular Java web framework. So this is my UML diagram for my demo. We have an inventory, and so this is the inventory controller. It has two private variables and four public methods. And the view just has one public method, and the model, the data that is stored is the name. Alright, so I'll pull up my demo now. Alright, so this is the inventory model class. So this is where the data will be stored, and the data that's going to be stored is item name for the inventory, and it has the two methods getName and setName, And then for the inventory view, which is what's going to be displayed, we have print inventory, which is going to print the inventory. And then we have the inventory controller, which controls the model and view. So we have two variables. So we have the inventory model and the inventory view. These are private. And then we have a public method, inventory controller, which takes two parameters, and they're both their inventory model and inventory view. And then we have a set item name, get item name, and then update view, which displays the data. It calls the view and it will be displayed to the user. Alright, and this is the demo class. Alright, so we have inventory model equals retrieve inventory. This gets current item in the inventory. And then we have inventory view equals new inventory view. This creates a view to display inventory to users. And then, so with this controller.update view is what prints out to the console. And so this is just going to print out what's in the inventory. And so this is just what's in the inventory right now. If we run that, it'll print out, so Apple is in the inventory. So what the controller does, if I wanted to change what was in the inventory, I have this code right here. So we're going to change the item that's in the inventory from an apple to an orange. So it will display the apple. It will display the apple right here. Then we're going to change the apple to an orange using the controller method. And then we will print it out again. So now we'll have the apple is in the inventory, and then we changed it to the oranges inventory using the controller method. So yeah, that's pretty much it for my MVC design pattern. If you have any questions, please email me. Thank you.